Anthropology is the study of human culture and interaction. It's about understanding how an individual is uniquely situated in his or her culture to a fine grain, and includes four different branches: cultural, linguistic, physical, and biological anthropology. Understanding how these branches rely on one another in order to give anthropologists a multidimensional scope of human culture will guide us in learning how to write like an anthropologist, and why anthropological writing depends so much on interdisciplinary research and the use of diverse methodologies. To help us better understand how writing in anthropology works, we thought what better way than to talk about an anthropologist himself, Dr. Stephen Fulmer. Dr. Fulmer is an associate professor at Wake Forest University, specializing in cultural anthropology, with focuses in medical and psychological anthropology. Guided by these two specialties, Fulmer has been conducting research in the field for over 35 years with the Dalit people in Nepal, specifically in the Kathmandu Valley. Similar to India, Nepal has a caste system. Dalits hold the lowest position in this caste system, and Dr. Fulmer has been working with Dalit people to better understand the elements of their political, social, and economic oppression, while also working with Dalits to combat their persecution and gain more autonomy in their lives. Taking a look at Dr. Fulmer's research with the Dalit people offers a great example of what the values of anthropological writing are. Anthropologists write across many different genres, which is why writing in anthropology is heavily dependent on audience negotiation and tailoring your work to a highly specific niche audience or a more popular group of readers. Let's take a look at some of the different kinds of audience negotiation that occur in anthropological writing across various genres by looking at a sampling of Dr. Fulmer's work. For example, Dr. Fulmer has written an article for the Journal of the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, a chapter from the textbook Himalaya, and even a blog post for the blog Neuroanthropology, Understanding the Encultured Brain and Body. In the journal article, Dr. Fulmer's main audiences consist of the disciplinary communities of cultural anthropology, psychology and psychiatry, and medicine, whereas in his textbook chapter, Dr. Fulmer's audience consists of cultural anthropologists strictly interested in Dalit culture and their methods of political dissension. On the other hand, the blog post has a much more popular audience, not only because it is addressing cultural and linguistic anthropologists, psychiatrists, and members of the U.S. government, but also because the blog post can be accessed by many more people than the journal article or textbook chapter. In just 3 pieces of writing, it is clear that anthropology embodies the art of audience negotiation because of its numerous genres through which anthropologists communicate. Whether your audience is composed of fellow anthropologists or other academics, peer reviewers considering your work to be published, or a popular audience wondering why your research matters, understanding who you are writing to not only produces changes in your rhetorical choices, such as whether to rely more on qualitative or quantitative data, but it also gives a more detailed purpose to your writing and research.
As we said before, balance is one of the inherent characteristics of writing in anthropology. This balance not only refers to the interdisciplinary collaboration, but also to the collaboration of different kinds of data. For example, in Dr. Fulmer's journal article entitled Cross-Cultural Psychiatry in the Field, Collaborating with Anthropology, he writes with a psychiatrist, Dr. Guy Palms, to show the overlaps between Dalits' psychological disorders and the values of their culture. This collaboration opens up the number of audiences that Fulmer and Palms are writing to because the combination of Fulmer and Palms' different kinds of expertise gives their journal article enhanced credibility among readers and among scholars conducting similar research.
Another part of the balance in anthropological writing is between quantitative and qualitative data. Both of these types of data are crucial in order to create a multidimensional perspective when anthropologists are writing about their ethnographic fieldwork. For anthropologists, quantitative data, also known as hard data, consists of statistics, information from standardized surveys, and long conglomerations of data expressed in graphs, charts, and tables. On the other hand, qualitative data consists of interviews, personal accounts, and field notes. Essentially, quantitative data expresses the what of an anthropologist's research, and qualitative data expresses the why. Therefore, anthropologists choose to use both of these methodologies in their writing because the combination of quantitative and qualitative data give a fuller picture of the research to the audience, most likely a highly diverse and vast audience. The use of both types of data also helps to explain the greater social or global impacts of anthropologists' work. Now that we have looked at the balance in anthropological writing from a methodological perspective, let's look at it from an interdisciplinary perspective.
Like we said earlier, anthropology itself contains 4 different branches that behave in an interdependent manner. One branch cannot exist without the others. In the same way, anthropological writing depends on other disciplines within the social sciences to produce detailed and well-rounded research and to explain the nuances of human culture. It is very important for anthropologists to seek out expertise from other fields. In the case of Dr. Fulmar, psychology and politics, to fully discuss their research and to show its importance in many different areas of study. This interdisciplinary collaboration in anthropological writing again grants the writer increased credibility with multiple audiences, generates interest from other disciplines in the writer's research, and presents the research in the most logical way possible by pulling from different fields of expertise to create a multifaceted perspective of the work.
Ultimately, writing in anthropology is about the art of collaboration between different kinds of data and among different disciplines. This collaboration brings credibility, logic, and empathy to anthropologists' writing and helps give their various audiences a multifaceted lens with which to view their research.
In Dr. Fulmer's case, he writes about Dalits' methods of political and social dissent that they use in order to combat their oppression in the Nepali caste system, and connects the effects of Dalits' oppression to how the caste system influences Dalits' mental health. However, it is through the rhetorical tactics of audience negotiation and knowing when to use different types of data in your writing that Fulmer is able to convey to his audiences the larger social implications of his work. If you want to know how to write like an anthropologist, here are 3 things to remember. 1. Balance is key. Write collaboratively with other experts in different disciplines, either inside or outside the disciplinary community of the social sciences. 2. Know your audience and anticipate the values of their own fieldwork by understanding how and when to use qualitative and quantitative data in order to establish your credibility across multiple disciplines. 3. Be flexible. Anthropologists write in academic journals, popular books, school textbooks, blog posts, and a plethora of other genres. Knowing your genre will give more purpose to your audience and, in turn, to your rhetorical decisions when writing about your research.
It's clear that anthropology is necessary for an increasingly global world, and it reflects this global role by conducting research that relies on balance and nuance rather than generalizations and one-dimensional explanations. Writing in anthropology requires these 2 tools in order to effectively address the audience and in order to effectively inform the public about grand societal implications.